So I took matters into my own hands and got to work. I started by creating two evaporative cooling prototypes in Bali, testing how it would work and to see how they would perform in humid climates, while collecting lots of data. As I started building the prototypes, I ran into numerous challenges. How will I make enough clay tubes for this to work? How will the water circulate? Where will I get the funding? But I knew I just had to start somewhere and leave the rest for future me to worry about. At first, I came up with beautiful, intricate designs, but I decided that those were a bit too complicated for just a prototype, so I went with a simple square frame and began to weld. The first frame made of metal took ages to weld, so for the next one, I switched to bamboo. Since I'd never done bamboo carpentry before, the school carpenters helped me, and bam, two frames done. Then me and my friends tried making terracotta tubes, but let's just say they had personality. So I sourced proper ones from local potters instead. And for the bamboo tubes, I used a bunch of scrap bamboo that was lying around Greenschool. On to the water situation. With the Innovation Hub's help, I made holes into upcycled pipes and tested different pumps. The first one was too weak, but luckily they had a stronger one. Then came the final assembly. That's when I realized there had been a tiny miscalculation. Some of the pipes didn't line up properly, leaving a few gaps. Nothing fit quite right for the water tray either, until the iHub suggested using an old wooden box from a past student project. Perfect. After sealing it and repairing it, testing it and repairing it, again and again, everything finally came together. But then I hit another problem. It kept splashing out and making a huge mess. To fix it, I tied the pipes closer to the tubes to limit the splashing, and finally, we're all done. Now, it's time to start testing. I spent 2 weeks collecting data, using temperature sensors and a sling wet bulb thermometer, which is honestly a full workout just to get one accurate reading. Here's what I found out. It does work, but only cooling up to 2 to 3 degrees Celsius in tropical Bali. However, it was raining a lot, so conditions weren't great since high humidity limits the cooling. But this shows that it works, and on hot, dry days, it can make a real difference. I tested the prototypes with and without fans, and the additional airflow helped significantly. I'll touch more on this in a bit. Overall, this was a great test round and proved to be quite useful and has helped me prepare for my larger scale pieces.